Good day, truth-seeking friends watching this program. My name is Eltisator Ernst, as most people know me. With me is Ibulama or Nikita, as most people know her. You can find more about us on our website, Pyramid's Tower of Light. Please check it out, guys. It's worth it. It entails the most needed spiritual and psychic wisdom not found anywhere among Western people. My sincere thanks to the Most High Torata JAWE GORIA and all the true Lightside guides He appointed over me, who guided me to compile these series of programs. Pelasa Torata JAWE GORIA. Thank you, Nikita, for presenting this program with me. And Parental or Cabos and Bebazola, that is Iliska, thanks for the technical care of all these series. Thanks to Floranza and Zontara, who help verify and ensure the contents of each program via our two-way communication systems with our Lightside guides. If you find this program or any other program of us worthwhile, please subscribe, like and share with other truth-seeking friends. Tickle the little bell icon to be notified of forthcoming programs. And please pay attention not to miss the many dozens of new facts to remember during these lectures.
Aaron, it's a great pleasure to work alongside you as always.
Thank you.
In today's program, we discuss planet Earth to be one of endless schools of learning throughout endless dimensions. Who is being sent to Earth to be schooled here and why?
Nikita, 31% of the global population are Christians. This is according to the internet. And today's date is what?
The 10th of July, 2024.
2024. This means that a minimum of 31% of all humans on Earth are mind-controlled or brainwashed to believe that there is but one God. 31% of the global population follows Satan and Satan's dark side ways with a proud smile on their faces. It does not help us to prove to them how ridiculous and unlogic their beliefs are. They are not interested in serving any true Lightside Creator Hefkenam or the Most High Torata JAWE GORIA.
Most white Christians believe the Roman Catholic Church's members worship Satan. However, all Christians worship the same Trinity. The Roman Catholic Church compiled a Christian Bible after they revised the original ground texts. They replaced the real God's names with the titles God and or Lord, knowing the Trinity represents Satan, Satan's one son Lucifer, and the demonic kingdoms.
Yes, it's ridiculous. Most Western Christians are spiritual followers, not leaders. Over the last 2,000 years, Christians have been divided into more than 6,000 different believing Christian denominations spread around the globe. Each of them believes what their congregations want to believe, where they feel at ease and at the steering wheel of their lives on earth. They follow Satan in Satan's ways on earth. It is sad to experience Christianity's mindset of their goal of life on earth. To them, the only goal of human life on earth is what, Nikita, to grow up, get a job, get married, conceive children, get old and die to conclude life. How ridiculous. Oh, if someone among them dies young, they blame their God for it. Why does He allow people to die young? They wanted it otherwise.
According to most Christians, Earth is the only planet in the endless space housing humans or any other life forms. They believe the Trinity God, which the Christian Church declared to be their God, is the only existing God who created the endless universes for no reason. An endless space housing endless visible nebulas full of universes, Milky Way, solar systems and planets for no reason? What kind of God would act this way?
This Trinity God, Nikita, cannot be the Most High Torata Yahweh GORIA, because to waste anything is a transgression of the cosmic laws. The Most High has a council plan. He uses only what is needed. Before any structure is erected, the purpose of the structure must be approved by the Most High and His council. No planet, universe or dimension shall be erected until the purpose of it has been approved by the Most High and His council. Now, who approved all this to be built for only Earth, which is one small little dust in an ocean of sand to have life on? I mean, how? Let's go on.
When we question Western Christians on the above mentioned, their reply usually contains the following: the work of God is not for us to know. This answer is right out of the Satan's mouth and contradictions to the previsions of the cosmic laws of the Most High Torata Yahweh GORIA.
In the Old Testament of the Christian Bible, the Most High assures us that He does nothing before He informs His children and His prophets about it in advance. The history of Israel, as recorded in the Bible, swarms with examples as evidence.
Most white Christians believe Jesus or Yeshua Rodopa was the last prophet on earth. Where they got that idea is uncertain, because modern nations swarm with prophets. By definition, a prophet and a trance medium are the same instrument through which different Darkside and or Lightside gods, Hefkenams and higher warn their created humanities on earth of forthcoming happenings.
Each nation on earth swarms with seers experiencing future events by seeing what will come. It's like in the old time in the movies, forthcoming attractions. This is what a seer sees. I'm a seer and I know. A seer sees and experiences outstanding future events to come, while a prophet is an instrument through which gods, Hefkenams and higher, speak directly to their created people. Unshielded prophets as trance mediums could be possessed by dark side, satanic and or demonic life forms. Measure what is said against the provisions of the cosmic laws before you judge. We were Christians ourselves until we prayed to the Most High Torata Yahweh GORIA. This is myself as well as all of us, search through Bibles and Holy Scriptures to find a fair God until we studied the Clavicula Solomonis. We compiled an adaptation of King Solomon's prayer to the Most High Torata Yahweh GORIA to be used by ourselves.
Our prayers to the Most High, like all prayers to Him, are scanned alongside us as the souls during prayer. The Most High Torata Yahweh GORIA confessed to, among others, King Solomon of the Bible, that He let Him be found by those who seek Him in sincerity, those who know His name. See Psalm 91 for the details.
Yes, we were not nosy to see what would happen if we asked the Most High for wisdom. We were seriously looking for a real, fair God, not a so-called Lightside God, a Trinity God who let the sinless be murdered on a cross so that the murderer and the thieves could walk free. This is an extreme way of satanic unfairness and non-deservingness belonging to the dark side kingdoms in which Christianity believes. To allow this is to transgress more than one cosmic law. The Most High will never transgress his own cosmic laws.
In South Africa, we experience the effect of Satan's ways on earth as a school of learning. Convince yourself where the Christian God, known as the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spook, or the Trinity God without a name, brought us living in South Africa, on the brink of a bloodbath, civil war which will not be stopped. Not to mention the Third World War, which is in phase 1, tectonic warfare, the reason, Christians' willingness to serve Satan according to Satan's ways. They want to be at the steering wheel of their own lives on earth, dethroning their Trinity God without a name to do as they order him to do on a daily basis. Others order the Son Jesus to serve them as ordered by them, or to lose them as followers.
Exactly, Nikita, exactly. A great percentage of white South African Christians do not go to church on Sundays anymore. The result of avoiding church services and any other Christian programs entails the downbreaking of mind control or brainwashing, which leads to believing in a God no more. This is one very sad story. Christians in South Africa generally sit back and wait for their Messiah, Jesus, to come and save them, which will not happen because it is not part of the provisions of the cosmic laws nor the Lightside deity's code of conduct.
The task of a Messiah entails leading his tribe, not everybody believing in what he preached. In Yeshua's case, Yeshua or Jesus came to lead his tribe Israel to perfect enlightenment. He did not come to save the whole world. The task of Jesus or Yeshua, as one of the dozens of messiahs mentioned in the Christian Bible's Old Testament, did not entail being murdered on a cross for other people's transgressions of the cosmic laws. The Most High, Torata, JAWE, GORIA, confirms in his cosmic laws and the Christian Bible that nobody may atone for another's sin, but that each person will be punished for his sin.
Yes. White Christians with first world IQs prefer the Christian satanic ways, where they could be at the steering wheel of their lives on earth, instead of serving the Most High, knowing the Most High, Torata, JAWE, GORIA, in everything they plan, do, or need to know, and live according to the provisions of the cosmic laws and the deity's code of conduct, or to follow the way prepared for us in the council plan of the Most High, Torata, JAWE, GORIA.
When they as Christians had to choose a Christian Bible to study, they preferred only the already fraudulent Christian prepared New Testament and the Psalms. By doing so, they rejected and forgot about the cosmic laws and the thousands of life lessons to be learned in the historical contents of the Old Testament.
As time passed, they despised the Most High, the Most High's cosmic laws and his deity code of conduct. They exchanged the Most High, his cosmic laws and his deity's code of conduct for a Messiah they declared to be a Lord or God. Who gave them permission to decide who will be gods and who will be what? Furthermore, they decided as Christians what biblical contents were necessary for them to study. The rest they threw out the Bible. Hotels and guest rooms around the globe swarm with small little Bibles containing only the New Testament and the Psalms. I mean, everybody can see that it's been proven over decades. I was a young lad of 19 when it was already the case. I received a small New Testament Bible when I completed grade 12, which was, it feels like hundreds of years ago, but I mean, this is where they go
And that's
to.
what they do in the church also afterwards, after everybody's given themselves to Satan.
Yeah.
They will all receive a free Bible there at the back.
Yes,
So, yeah,
to
it's
keep their
mind
mind
controlling.
controlled. Yes.
Western Christian people largely forgot that Earth is a school of learning. A school where we as human or angelical souls in human bodies study two different future careers. The first future career entails psychic and spiritual awakening and development to study a spiritual career in the afterlife. The second career entails your daily job description to have bread on the table.
To develop psychically and spiritually on earth is pre-primary. You must be psychic and spiritually awake and partly developed to use your senses as a soul. In the Brahma's writings, we refer to it as your first set of senses, the senses of you as a soul person. The intro of our website, Brahma's Tower of Light, explains it beautifully. The awakening soul as a visa or vision. Visa is human soul, vision with the N is angelical soul, and other consciousness life forms as well, cannot grow and develop spiritually if the first set of senses of the soul as visa or vision, as well as other consciousness life forms, is not functioning correctly. You must be psychically developed to experience, see, hear, etc. in any part of the true deity's kingdoms, which is invisible to ordinary human eyes. When you activate your first set of senses, you are ready for Earth School of Learning. During your incarnation as a soul into a human body, your first set of senses was actively functioning. We proved it in previous series and programs. If you haven't watched them, you're welcome to go and check it out.
For the first year or more of being inside a human body, you use your first set of senses and the human body senses. Up to about 5 years of age, the first set of senses stop working, unless you train them daily. If you do not use a gift, it will be taken away from you and given to somebody in need. So all the mothers out there, please let your children see what they see.
Yes,
and keep
please,
on.
please.
Yes, well, if I have one arm splintered so that it cannot be used for 1 year, I will not be able to use that arm after 1 year. I will have to learn to get that arm functioning again, which will take months or years. The same applies to this first set of senses.
The next to learn is who you are as a soul, which side you represent, and what your spiritual career in the afterlife after completing 8 lives on earth entails. This is why you need your first set of senses and not the human body senses you occupy. You must see, hear, smell, feel and experience other vibrating life forms, generally named the invisible. Why?
Your spiritual guide is not experienceable by your human senses. You as a soul must daily communicate with your guide. How do you plan to master this two-way communication technique if your first set of senses is non-functional? If you can hear certain frequencies belonging to other vibrating life forms invisible to your human eyes, how are you going to identify the source of what you heard? How are you going to determine if the source is light side or dark side of origin? You must know the provisions of the cosmic laws and the deity's code of conduct, which is downloadable for free on our website, Brahma's Tower of Light. Weigh what you have heard against the provisions of the cosmic laws and the deity's code of conduct to determine its source.
You, as a human soul, or maybe an angelical soul, must develop psychically. Only then will you start experiencing true spirituality. All that stuff that the non-psychics cannot see. And those people, you know, who admit that they come from their pre-ancestors was baboons and apes and all that rubbish. And you know, when they speak, they will always say, this is our ancestors. Meaning ours is, well, sorry my friend, it's your ancestors. We know where we come from. So only then will you start experiencing the spirituality which will lead you to the God who created and incarnated you on earth. Your creator Hefkenam, which you must serve.
Always remember that there are only two main kingdoms where human souls originate from. The Lightside kingdoms of the Most High Torata, JAWE, GORIA, or the Darkside kingdoms of Satan and Satan's bosses in higher dimensions.
When you master two-way communication with your invisible guide or guides, being able to see your guides in the astral realms or during in-tapping or spiritual meditation, the next step is to ask your guide who you as a soul are, which side you as a soul represent, and what your as a soul career in the afterlife entails. You must know this, otherwise you cannot complete your studies in Earth School of Learning in 8 lives, after which you may be demoted to low vibrating dimension planets.
You as a soul created by the Most High Torata, JAWE, GORIA, were entrusted to other souls in human bodies you know as your parents. As souls, they are not your parents, but your guardians or foster parents. You are in Earth's School of Learning, not your creator. It is your task as a human or angelical soul inside a human body to develop your first set of senses. All of this sounds logical unless you are mind controlled.
Of course, I mean, my Tavalla name as a soul is Eltizator, meaning comforter and encourager. I originate from a planet in Dimension 9. My spiritual studies in Earth School of Learning for the afterlife entail becoming a Zora Molege healer, specializing in high light side dimension healing arts. Secondly, a philosopher specializing in deity science. Your will differ from mine. You need to uncover your own career or careers. On Earth, you have all you need, plus more, to uncover what you need to uncover. No human or angelical soul on Earth in Earth School of Learning have a valid excuse not to know better. Among Western Christians, it was the Christian parents following Satan's ways who discouraged their children to develop their first set of senses. They represent the third and fourth generations who are left with the reactions to their parents' actions. They experience the problems arising from it.
In the second program of this series, we lectured on who the Lightside deities refer to as the Council of the Most High and what entails its purpose. There are endless careers on planets in endless dimensions, sub and sub-sub dimensions. All careers on Earth have an equal but more developed career on planets in the higher light side dimensions.
Yeah, I think we should discuss this for better understanding. Nikita, let's discuss it. What if you are, you know, they always say that what you do here, if you are a cleaner, you will be a cleaner in heaven one day. People are talking about stuff like that, but there's a little difference. If you are a construction vehicle operator on Earth, you work in a mine, you work with that heavy equipment, whatever. If you make it after this life to go to a higher planet, vibrating light side, than the sixth dimension, what is going to be waiting there for you? What will be waiting there? A job, maybe a construction vehicle operator, which doesn't, you don't drive on ground with it, you fly with it.
Yes.
I mean, what are they going to construct? You know, in dimension 130, where the Most High lives and higher. I mean, what kind of operator of a construction vehicle, what will his job entail? Maybe, okay, in the next, or every time a little bit more advanced.
Yes,
But when you reach there, you could be a construction vehicle operator on a vehicle bigger than Earth. Yeah. What a pilot on Earth versus pilot of spacecraft. You know, if you are a pilot on Earth, let's say you drive a Cessna, whatever, 4-seater plane or so. Maybe in the next life you are going to fly Boeings, just for an example.
Yes.
Or maybe in the next life fighter jets. And maybe in the next life when you passed Earth, 8 lives here, and you go to another higher vibrating light side dimension, what will you be piloting?
A Merkaba maybe.
A Merkaba, for sure.
Definitely.
What is that other vehicle's name? Ganula.
Ganula.
Or a Ganula. Yeah, there's so many things you can do. What about an engineer or an architect? Whatever you learn on Earth gets bigger and technology-wise much more developed for each dimension you go higher. On Earth you may be, let's say, an architect, designing buildings. One day in 1 trillion years when you reach, let's say, dimension 130, what are you going to what architectural structures are you going to do to invent? Universes?
Yeah,
universes.
If you have a career or a job on Earth for a long time, not changing jobs frequently, that career or job will most probably be the career or job in the afterlife you are trained for on Earth. After you complete your 8 lives on Earth successfully, you will be incarnated into a human-like body on a higher vibrating light side planet, or step in directly to execute your job or career in a more developed way.
Why is it, why did I use the name human light body? Because the higher you go, the more alien light, yes. There where they need other treatments than medical treatments
more extraterrestrial.
Yes, for sure. Suppose you are an architect designing neighborhoods on Earth. Hey, that is a big task on Earth. By the time you reach dimension 130, as an example, after tens of thousands or trillions of years of studying and working, remember you are busy with eternal life. You may be fixed as an architect designing solar systems, Milky Ways, or even universes.
Who is sent to Earth's School of Learning? It is important to note that Earth as planet Lona Kuza did not serve as a school or a residence for humans, since it was completed about 240 billion years ago. Gods and higher up in rank resided on Earth. The first humans on Earth, the Constellatisi humanity, were fixed on Lona Kuza as short back as about 201, 365, 118 years ago.
Yes, that's a long time,
That's
you know.
very long time.
Can you imagine 201 million years?
Yeah.
365,180 years. How, what a, it's
inevitable.
It's very long.
Since then, Earth has become a school where souls reside as if away from home in a boarding school.
Life forms living on planets between dimension 1 to 108 are schooled on Earth. There you've got your answer. This includes all life forms starting from a one-cell amoeba to angels, gods and goddesses, not higher in rank and title, unless what? Ordered by the Most High himself.
When do the Most High send souls higher developed than dimension 108 to be incarnated to Earth again? What we know is the following. When a Hefkenam developed between dimensions 109 and 208 transgressed cosmic laws to such an extent that their penalty entails coming back to Earth's school of learning and living as a human being, to learn to appreciate and not to transgress cosmic laws.
Why do I say there to appreciate the cosmic laws? Because if you live according to the cosmic laws, we live according to it, and do we have problems? Zero. We are the proof, but you can only prove it to yourself. We see them all the time. Who are they? The gods and Hefkenams, or the Hefkenams on Earth. Some of them are known among humans as nerds. They are the ones who transgressed and they got back on Earth. They were reincarnated back to start where they flew straight off reality. Right. So some of them are nerds. They look like nerds. They are too intelligent. I actually want to say they are hopelessly too intelligent to adapt to humans on Earth. Do you know people like that? I know. Their high dimension wisdom and knowledge are blocked inside their souls' brains. They are not like us who know and who may speak about it. They are locked inside, so they feel useless here. They cannot speak what they know. It's all inside here. This is, it's so. Their high dimension wisdom and knowledge are blocked inside their souls' brains. They know the wisdom and knowledge they had where they resided before, in the higher dimensions of the Hefkenams. However, they cannot speak or educate it.
Some have poor sight and wear thick glasses. Others' dress code differs enormously from first world dress codes. Their lifestyles and mindsets too. We understand they do not want to see spiritually what they were supposed to see on the high dimension planet from where they were incarnated back to Earth. The cosmic law's reaction to this soul's action entails poor human body eyesight during this lifetime.
As a student in Zoramalege higher dimension healing arts, I consulted with people who were born deaf and only clarified their hearing disability at a much older age. During one of our two-way communication sessions with our guides, I learned from them that most souls who are born into human bodies with dysfunctional hearing ignore their guidance during their previous lives on Earth. How can we explain this? If you don't want to listen to, you take away this, you listen with your soul's ears. If you don't want to listen, what's going to happen? You will be reborn without this ears. So now you only have those ears to listen. So learn from it, people. Learn from it.
In this life, they mainly have the voices in their minds to hear. They will learn to listen to their guides. They will learn the difference between their thoughts and their guides' voices. Most deaf-born people's senses of feeling the vibrations is more developed than average people's sense of feeling, which makes it easier for them to identify the origin of vibrations. They combine their senses of feeling and hearing in their minds to identify their guides.
Isn't it beautiful?
It's beautiful.
You know, that only the fact that we know some of those people is one of the biggest life lessons. Now you can go further. What about the person who's blind or mute or whatever? Back on earth in human bodies, the blind are forced to use their soul's eyes to spiritually catch up on what they missed out on during previous lives or ignored. It's obvious if you don't have, let's say, this eyes, and you only have your eyes, it will develop because you don't waste time using this. You know, previous life there were no balance. Now to get that balance back, a whole life without this eyes, and the balance will be back. It's so easy. You know, if they only want to read or listen to these programs. Among other humans, nerds experience life as a first world professor. You know, like one in Harvard University or so, permanently trapped in a third world environment, in bushes where nobody can understand him. I know nerds to be reincarnated as spiritually highly developed human souls, gods, goddesses, and Hefkenams. The reactions to actions described in the cosmic laws are fair and deservedly, however, unexpected by most Christians on earth. When it comes to the causes of blindness, deafness, or muteness, medical doctors do not believe in the true origin of it. Neither do most Christians.
Other Hefkenams are sent to Earth to assist individual souls like us in studying and researching what we must know for our careers in the afterlife, after the successful completion of 8 lives. Ernst, you were visited by them to compile the Brahmis books.
Lakita indeed. Torata was his name, is a Lightside Hefkenam from dimension 190. In other words, heaven 190. How high is that? Vibrating, you can work it out. If the third dimension vibrates 108.108 hertz frequency, the next one, the fourth dimension, is 109.109, 110.110. You go up until you get to the 190th dimension, then you will see how high do they vibrate. He assisted me in writing one of the books in the Brahmis writings. His appearance through a spiritually very highly developed medium friend of mine's human's body looked like any other human on earth. He is friendly and humble, but most of all, his radiation vibration is supercharging. Some of them assist me in the high dimensional healing arts I practice. Others help me to tap into where I must learn. You know, there's one thing about this Betaro Hefkenam. The day I saw him in the body of that other guy I mentioned, he reminded me of a teacher I had when I was in grade, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, grade 6 about. He had, you know, and when I thought of it, he said to me, no, I'm not the one person you think about. You know, in other words, what? There are a lot. We look like them.
Yeah.
There's another example. I mean, the body was Alfred's, but the head definitely not, and the voice coming out of it definitely not, and the wisdom flowing from it definitely not somebody else.
Hefkenams on Earth, invisible to human eyes, work through human bodies when needed. We identify them in human bodies through which they research and specialize in light-side vibrating high arts such as music, singing, ballet, drama, Dorado dancing, and what humans define as high arts.
Why? Because everything you mentioned now is rooted in what? Vibrations. And everything, everywhere, visible or invisible, lives according to vibrations. Vibrations. They can also be found among high-ranking military personnel appointed to task not for the eyes of the general public. Some orchestrate tectonic warfare on Earth. I have identified gods, goddesses, and a few Hefkenams and Davroses in human bodies practicing high forms of spiritual meditation. You know, one of the forms that I studied was, for instance, His Holiness Yule. One day I asked him, why do you know all this that you know? And he told me, because I'm old. I sat at the feet of the Most High long before this universe was even in planning for. You know, so this is, and they don't forget like us. What goes in stays in. That is, you know, it's so, how they meditate. You cannot believe they can communicate. This one I mentioned can communicate with 28 billion souls or life forms in during one session while awake. They are linked in his brain.
Yes.
And we know it because we do it. It works. What we share on True Lightside Kingdom's representatives on Earth also applies to Darkside Kingdom representatives on Earth. They are here to study as well. However, they study the dark ways of the Darkside Kingdoms, including unfairness, crime, torment, hate, bloodshed, and everything which forms the opposite of the provisions of the cosmic laws of the Most High, Torata, JAWE, GORIA.
Third dimensions visible to human eyes, dark side demonic entities in human-like bodies on Earth cannot think, plan, organize, or develop at the same speed as first world humanities. Some belong to the illusion line of extremely primitive developed souls bound to experience only what vibrates at 108.108 Hz frequency. They are among all nations and sub-races globally.
Isn't it horrible? You know, for those people who cannot understand what we know, if they can just tap in for once and do it successfully, so that they can see there's much more than this few stuff around us. It's endless. Where are life forms beyond dimension 208 trained? In other words, life forms living in higher vibrating dimensions than 208. They have their high dimension planets serving as schools of learning. Higher ranked and titled life forms between dimensions 309 to 408 have their highly developed schools of learning in their own dimensions. Dimensions 409 to 508 have planets serving as schools of learning in their own dimensions. The list is endless. The higher the dimension in which a school of learning is housed, the more advanced the study material. It will not help us to quickly go to dimension 6,000. Even if we can see and hear, we will understand nothing. It is another world. We cannot.
In program 5, we will share knowledge on what the saying, "They watch us," mean.
Ooh. There's an eye-opener for a lot of us. Until then, friends, love and light. Bye.